ladies, today I'm with Puvithel. You've seen her maybe in my HelloCon video a while back. And now we are reunited in Vegas. Yay!
Yay, like Vegas!
So this is Royal Vegas Retreat and I have the honor of interviewing Puvi. She'll answer questions about herself, her brand, whatever.
Well, thank you for giving me the honor of being interviewed by you.
Oh, thank you. So let's do this. How and when did you discover J fashion?
Oh, good question. So back in 2009, I was attending my very first anime convention, MomoCon in Atlanta, Georgia, which was hosted by my college, Georgia Tech. And somebody there had a general J fashion panel where they just very quickly showed a slide of each style. And we actually first we saw Visual K and I fell in love with it and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I started getting into that. And then at Georgia Tech, I met a couple of Lolitas, my friend Shirley, and she wore Lolita on site. And through her, I got more interested in Lolita. So it's been, 2009 was 12 years ago? Oh my goodness. Wow. I will say, I don't think I really started wearing the fashion until like 2011 is when I kind of put together my first very terrible coordinate. The time has really gone by.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, how often and to what occasions do you wear it?
Good question. So, of course, lately it's been more difficult to find opportunities to get dressed up. Will do like some online panels and get dressed up, and every now and then I will just get dressed up and like do TikToks just for the heck of it. This is actually my first time wearing my current coordinate out to a real event, so that's really exciting. And I tend to mostly wear more of the casual stuff day to day. And when we do like little small get-togethers with friends, I might dress up then as well.
What is your favorite sub-style?
Oh, well, Menhera is definitely my favorite of all the J fashion styles, just because I love the community aspect of Menhera and the activism community in Japan and like what they've done to better Japan's society towards mental health and chronic health. And I also like my personal favorite, I love like the American styles of punk and goth and vent art and the edginess, and I like that Menhera, I can keep those American influences in my J fashion, but have the J fashion stylings and have that community behind it. And in Lolita, of course, definitely gothic all the way, 110%. I am one of those people who stocks all of the gothic indie brand stores and puts add to cart just very quickly.
What is your process when you're building a coordinate?
Oh, good question.
Do you start with a dress? Do you start with an inspiration or the theme of the event? Or
well, I guess it's very chaotic. I will say only really in the last few years have I gotten any good at putting together a coordinate at all, like just barely. And I guess I'll try to focus first on one particular item I want to wear. So like this coordinate, of course, is built around this Miss Danger JSK. And I just kind of like will pull things from my wardrobe, see if it matches, pull something else. I don't usually tend to go more than just trying to match colors and styles, which is very easy when your wardrobe is like all black and gold and red. But with this particular outfit, I was trying to go for a particular theme. So I kept the cross theme because there's crosses in the skirt and there's crosses in the lady sloth blouse, and then I have crosses in my tights as well. And then the voodoo dolly crown, it's so easy to put on and it goes with everything. So that's how this one worked.
What do you love about J fashion?
Oh, there's so many things about it. I love the designers, I love the clothing, I love like how I look in the clothing. But I definitely think my favorite aspect is the community. I've been very lucky that I get to travel a lot, and even before I had a brand, I would just show up in a city and I'd find the local community and say, hey, does anybody want to hang out? And there would always be Lolitas who they had no idea who I was. I'm just like a stranger visiting, who would take time out of their day to show me around the town and to hang out. And so that's absolutely my favorite aspect of it.
So you have your own brand that's called Puvithel, but is it also your first name, right?
Yes.
So why did you choose this name for your brand?
Mostly because I'm not very creative. When I started, I actually started doing steampunk jewelry, and then I started wanting to do Lolita jewelry, and then I started wanting to do goth jewelry. And I realized like it's usually better for a brand to be very focused on a specific item. And so the previous brand names I had, which were like Subtly Steampunk and Shao Loli, those were very specific to certain things. So I figured, okay, if I go with my name, Puvithel, then everything that I create falls in the brand and it gives me the freedom to do more styles. And I also looked at brands like Megan Maud and Hinuli, who were using their own names, Samantha Ray, and it feels very professional, and it makes it feel like you're really taking ownership of the brand. And also, nobody else in the world has the name Puvithel, so the search engine optimization is, you cannot beat it. Everything you find under that is me.
Awesome. That's
Lovely,
good
yes.
branding. You have also another job apart from your brand. What do you do?
Yes, so I work for one of the nuclear naval labs in the States as a nuclear engineer. I do a lot of work with gamma ray detectors, just usually making sure that there's nothing odd in places we expect. It can be fun. It's very different. I occasionally will get into conversations with Lolitas where they'll just be like, "Oh, I didn't know you knew all those things."
Yeah. Can you tell us about the brand and why you started Puvithel and when?
So originally, I started making jewelry as just a way to de-stress from life and school. But I was a poor college student, so the craft supply money was starting to be a serious drain on the wallet. And I thought, okay, let me just put up for sale a few things, do maybe a con or two, and let me just make back the craft supplies. So I picked out a nice small con to start with and got a few things together. But then MomoCon, which was a big con, emailed me 2 weeks before the con and said, hey, we see you're local. This table opened up. Do you want it? And I was like, well, I'm not turning that down. So it was trial by fire. But I had a lovely time. I made a lot of friends with vendors and Lolitas and artists, some of whom I'm still friends with today and keep in contact with. And it was just so exciting to have people be interested in my stuff and to pick it up and to enjoy it. And from there, I started doing a few more. Then I did my first AWA where I met Lolita Collective. And I, of course, as a baby Lolita, as a designer, it's to be carried by Lolita Collective is such a big deal. It really means you have quality and that you've kind of made it and you have you're good enough to kind of sell. So I very shyly just kind of hovered around Lolita Collective's booth, and then they saw I was wearing Lolita and came and looked at my stuff and said, hey, we'll carry some of your things. And I was I was ecstatic. I was oh wow, if Lolita Collective thinks that my work is good enough for them, well then maybe I should put some serious effort into this and try to get a brand rolling and see what happens from that. So that's when I the mind turned from this is a side hobby to, okay, let's see where I can take this. And Lolita Collective and other designers like Egato Designs have been extremely helpful in teaching me how to do, I don't have a fashion background, so they've been helping me, teaching me how to do stuff, introducing me to great people, and really, really making that career grow for me. So that's where that went, and it just kind of spiraled out of control. It just was originally first it was, let me just make back craft supply money. And then it was, let me buy a few fashion pieces. And then now it's just a whole thing. And I'm in Vegas.
Yay! So you never know what the choices that you make will take you. So that's amazing.
Exactly. I absolutely never in 1,000 years imagined this. And I'm still I keep going around to people and being I got flown to Vegas. Ah, look at me.
Yeah. So cool. How do you balance wearing Lolita and other fashions? Do you pick the event where you'll wear more Lolita or more J fashion or?
I would say that I balance that very poorly. I actually very rarely wear Lolita because when I'm at events, I need to be wearing my own brand, and I tend to go for the comfy outfits that I can work in. So Menhera and punk and Guro Kawaii are what I typically wear for events. However, Royal Vegas Retreat I knew was a very Lolita-specific event, and also I have not had a lot of opportunities to wear my very nice coordinates. So I was like, all right, we're gonna pack a petticoat and wear 3 Lolita outfits for once.
What does your everyday wardrobe look like?
Menhera for sure when I am out and about, Menhera. My work outfits though are very different. I tend to wear overalls with like all the button-up shirts that I've been making. I really like those loud button-up designs under the overalls. So it's a very different look, but it's fun. It's comfy.
Cool. And what do your coworkers think about that?
I don't know what they think. I guess I haven't really asked them. The dress code is pretty casual since we work adjacent to construction. And I had to start wearing the overalls because I was having pain issues with wearing anything with like elastic waistbands or some pants. So my coworkers knew that that's why I started wearing the overalls, and I guess they just excused the fun shirts.
Do you have anything else that you want to say to the world?
Oh, so much pressure. What do I say? Well, I definitely will say that I had an extremely wonderful time at Royal Vegas Retreat. This was fantastic. I love being here. And also that it's so great to get to see you and talk with you, because it's like, I've only gotten to meet with you like maybe once or twice, and so briefly.
Yeah, I think once only in person, right? Yeah.
Yes, just once.
Yeah.
And it's so rare. It's like we have all these conversations and connections over the internet, but it's like you're so far away, and like 6-hour time difference.
Yeah.
So it's incredible to be able to be in the same room with you here.
Awesome, yeah. We're doing fun stuff tomorrow that you will see on a vlog. So thank you so much for doing this interview. I really appreciate you taking the time. And I think that you guys will have enjoyed her answers, and go check out the brand. Oh, where can we find you? Like you said, on Google Puvithel, you will find only her.
Everything is me. And thank you so much for having me on this show. It's absolutely lovely chatting with you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.